speak about broken systems and how they might be broken, but they don't have to break you.
Hello, Tammy.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you?
I am amazing today.
Yeah. And welcome to the Global Virtual Summit 2026, Tammy Forster. And before going to start your session, I want to introduce you to our audience.
Great.
Yeah. Tammy Foster, known as a legal system warrior, is a resilient mindset and financial consultant, author, speaker, and co host of Double Impact Live. With academic credentials in liberal studies, health, and wellness, and a master's in coaching, she has dedicated her career to helping individuals transform adversity into strength, confidence, and purpose. Drawing from her own experience of navigating more than 100 family court hearings over a decade, Tammy empowers audiences with practical strategies to build resilience, overcome fear, and reclaim their personal power. And her mission is to help people stop letting difficult circumstances define them and instead lead lives rooted in purpose, perseverance, and possibility. That was a great bio, Tammy, and the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here, and it's just a great experience to be on a global summit with all of you, and I know some of the people that I've worked with are here as well. But I wanted to ask you a question. How many of you have ever realized that the broken system is broken, but it doesn't have to break people? And that's really something that I have all of that education that she just talked about, but it wasn't my main education. My main education was a whole different situation. And so, right now, in this next 20 minutes, I'm going to save someone the unnecessary heartache by showing you through my experiences, my situation, that it can be the blueprint for you to not have to do what I did. So, my speech is called The Power of Becoming Unbothered, Turning Adversity into Authority. Not because I'm an attorney, but because I'm a mom who lived through it. And that's really relevant to the fact that it's important to have someone who has experienced it from the inside to be able to show all of you how to deal with it from the outside in. Next slide. But I want to talk about something that happened to me prior to that I didn't realize until looking back that really shaped the resilience I was going to need to go through the situation and the circumstances that I experienced. And it was called the California AIDS Ride. And I don't know if too many of you are familiar with it, but it was a bicycle ride from San Francisco, California to Los Angeles, California, 500 plus miles in 7 days on a bicycle. Now, I didn't own a bicycle like that. It was a road bike. It's very different from a mountain bike. And I didn't have the skills or the experience, and also had to raise $2,500 to do it. But the experience itself taught me a lot of resilience because we had to pedal every day. The mantra was eat, sleep, ride. And let me tell you, that's exactly what it was eat, sleep, ride. Everything else was supported. It was an amazing function, but it did bring a lot of resilience because you had to learn how to fix your bike, how to ride your bike, how to pedal through all of those miles and get to the next stop. And that really taught me the resilience that I needed. Next slide. And then later on in my life, I actually taught or learned another experience that brought me to today and where I am today to provide the skills that I would need going forward into the circumstances that I'll talk about here in a minute. But I was in a band for 5 years called Flip the Switch, and that music became my healing. It was a time when I had experienced some of the court issues. They were just starting, and I was able to find my voice in singing and being able to bring that joy and that peace and that love to other people, which gave me a lot of I'll call it my Calgon that helped me to get through the things that I got through. So that gave me the voice that I didn't know I was going to need so much either. Next slide. But what I want to talk about is the storm that actually happened. I went through over 100 hearings in 10 years in family court. That's something I don't think anybody should experience. A courtroom battle is a very difficult thing here in California and throughout the states, and I'm sure in other countries where you don't really know what to expect. And when it comes to your children and it comes to finances and it comes to all of the hardships that ensue throughout a 10-year time frame and over 100 plus hearings, that's once a month that you're dealing with that. It affected my jobs, it affected my home, it affected my kids, it affected everything around me. And losing 2 homes through that and fighting for my kids for 8 months when I lost them to this situation was the most devastating experience that I would wish to never happen to anybody. But I know that today it's happening a lot, and I see it more and more as the time goes on. I know in my mom's era, the divorce rate was 25%, and today the divorce rate in the United States is 65%. And so we see a whole lot more of the devastation that these systems are causing to people through financial loss, mental instability, uh, through the emotional devastation that it creates. And it isn't just the legal system. There are so many other systems that are broken today that are creating a lot of hardship for families. And so for me, that darkest season of my life, that almost broke me. Next slide. But there was a turning point in that. As you can see on the slide, the broken systems, they can be broken. But the one thing I learned is that they didn't have to break me. That was a very hard lesson for me in choosing to rise. And of course, having it have something to do with your children, there's a lot of motivation in that, in being able to stand up and have to do those things was so difficult. I can't even explain the experience to anyone that hasn't experienced it. To walk in and never know what to expect, and to be able to learn those skills over that period of time, that 10-year period of time, was a very difficult thing. And what I found was there wasn't the support in the system itself. I went to self-help and they told us to go to self-help, and I went to self-help and they could not give me any legal advice. I went to legal aid and they took all of my personal information, and again, they they said they couldn't give me any legal support. And when you go to attorneys, they also don't give really a lot of insight, and there's all of these technicalities, these terms and these things that people don't understand. And you see it in the medical industry and you see it in the legal industry, you see it in all of these government entities where it's made to be very difficult to traverse. And so what I realized for myself was that there was something missing. Someone asked me in a podcast recently why I didn't befriend other people in that experience. And the reason that I didn't is because we were all full of shame and feeling so distraught in our own little worlds in that situation that there was no time for that. We weren't looking for friends. We were looking to save our families, to protect what was ours. And so you didn't do that in that time, and you felt very alone. And so I know there's many of you out there in situations like that feel very alone. And what I found is the advocate that I didn't have is the advocate that I chose to become. And in doing that, there was a mindset shift. That mindset shift is what caused me through lots of experiences and in the hardship of the court. The hardship of the courtroom I ever entered was the one inside of my own mind. That constant fear, that constant unknown, that constant, what's going to happen next? I've met many people along the way during this transition into becoming the advocate, the educator, the empowerer. And so today I'm known as the legal system warrior, not because I'm an attorney, but because I'm a mom who lived it. And as such, today I'm serving other people and stepping forward to become that advocate that I didn't have, to change my mindset and the mindset of others, not to fight the system or any of those systems from the inside out. I see so many people fighting these big entities. They're too big. And it really comes from within you. You have to learn, I had to learn to reframe my thought process. And I learned that through becoming an NLP practitioner and through my masteries in coaching and through the education that I had growing up through the college and learning to become a teacher and an educator, to provide that to other people and become that advocate, that empowerer, to serve others through my programs that I offer today as the legal system warrior. Because during that shift, I learned something very valuable. You sit in that so much where you feel, why is this happening to me? Over and over and over again. You just feel devastated. It's about your kids, it's about your home, it's about your livelihood or your medical issues, or things just aren't going right in so many of these situations. But when you get on the other side of where I am today, it isn't what happened to you, it's what happened for you. Because it is what happened for me to become the advocate, to provide that to people today. And I'm on a mission to serve as many people as possible, to teach them, to educate them on a different way to walk in from the outside in and become a warrior like me, walking into those situations confident, walking into those situations with a plan, walking into those situations knowing that you're not going to walk out completely devastated. I don't want anyone to ever have to learn that the way that I did. So today, as you can see in the slide here, that adversity that I went through, that journey, I know there are many, many people out here that are going through their own difficult times, their own journeys. But when you learn to take responsibility and you stop reacting, just stop reacting. It's so, we're innately people that react to our circumstances. But when you learn to take that back and take a pause and learn to listen to what's going on, take a pause or a breath, and then respond instead of reacting. You get to choose. You get to decide how you take that next step forward. It doesn't control you anymore. You control that situation, that circumstance, and you learn to be more confident. Learn to reshape who you are and who you become in that circumstance, to walk through that with more authority, with more confidence to get through that. Some of these things can last years. Mine was 10 years long. That takes a lot. That's why I am that survivor, as the slide says. I'm the survivor. But I didn't just want to be a survivor. That was the shift for me in moving into this company that I'm the founder of today in the legal system warrior, with my main program being the warrior success system. Is I didn't just want to be a survivor. I didn't just go through those things just to go through those things. I went through those things because that's what I went through, to become a servant to all of you. Because I believe that my mission, my purpose today is to serve others through what I went through, to give you the blueprint to walk through that differently, to not be destroyed or devastated as much as I was, so that I can provide you the tools to become a different person through that. to handle it in a different way. I want to become the advocate that I never had. And as I said, my mission is to empower people to navigate adversity with resilience. And that could be the legal system, it could be a medical situation, it could be so many things. I really think it's learning how to shift. In our show on Double Impact, we have a framework in our program that talks about double and impact. And the double actually stands for drained, overwhelmed, unseen, burnt out, limited, and exhausted. And I know that many of you here today have experienced or are experiencing those things today. But the answer to that is on the other side, and that's in the impact. The impact is learning who you are, like I just said, learning your identity, really deciding who you want to be in that circumstance, and not letting the reaction determine who you become, but learning how to take that pause and respond. And the M is for that mindset shift that I want to teach others how to do through my programs. What I had to learn in 10 years to provide you in a short period of time so that you don't have to do it in 10 years. You can do it in a very short period of time. And that purpose that you find in being the person that you want to be through that situation to get to the other side faster than I did, to be able to act upon that and be confident and transform yourself into a warrior like me. I want to train and teach other people to be a warrior in any circumstance, in any situation that they walk into, to not react, but to respond. And that's my goal today, is to serve others, to teach them the tools, to give them the ability to navigate those situations that they're in, to walk through that with a purpose and to be transformed into someone who can handle that in a different way. So today I'm offering a free gift from me. It is what I call the Warrior Reset. And that Warrior Reset is a 90-minute offer with me over the phone or on Zoom to provide you clarity and a strategy and the confidence and to see where you are at, to get you to a different place in those circumstances that you're going through. And I don't know if he's able to put this last slide up, but the last slide that I have has a QR code if he can cue that. If not, you can certainly find me. My website is https the legal warrior system, the legal system warrior, sorry about that, .com/private session with Tammy, TAMI. And all of my social media is very simple to find me because my name's spelled a little bit different. If you go to TAMI with my last name, FORSTER, you'll find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Please reach out to me, DM me, Warrior. Let me know that you would like to work with me, and I will connect with you to provide you this service, this time to help you become more confident, give you a strategy and a plan to walk through your circumstance differently and to become more confident in who you are today. Thank you for the time, and I'm so grateful to be here today. And somebody on here said, what is one mindset that can help someone overcome adversity? Changing your focus.
It's Tammy. Thank you so much for your presentation. And we have got a lot of questions from the audience, the
Great.
speakers too. And I want to ask you one of them.
Sure.
What can we do for someone we know who is going through a tough time?
The best thing I would offer is to reach out to me and have the Warrior Reset 90-minute call with me where I can provide some tools and some strategies based on their circumstance to be able to provide that to them. So to reach out to me, I do have a website. As I said, it's on another. I did a slide last and he wasn't able to put that up there. But if you go to https it's :// thelegalsystemwarrior.com/session with private session with Tammy, Tami.
Okay.
And I can put
Please
that in the
post
chat.
that in a
Yep,
chat box.
yep,
That would be very helpful. Yeah. Thank you so
got
much, Tammy. And thanks for your valuable time today. We are very honored to invite you to this virtual event. Thank you so
Thank you so
much.
much. Thank
And
you.
please be on the backstage and join the next session, Tammy.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having
Thank
me.
you. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.